I got you. Ready?
Yeah, he's
1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yo, this is Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5 live and direct here in Glasgow, Scotland, and you call that radio?
Upon you, we are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale. We see the crimes of this government, how they support every dictator and criminal on this earth. Sometimes you can feel down. Sometimes
Good afternoon and welcome to a bonus episode of You Call That Radio. We've got an absolute legend, Sa-Roc, in the house. Sa-Roc, can you hear me?
I can. Hey, it's good to be on here.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for doing it. I'm a massive fan of your work, and I got a wee advance listening to your new album, The Sharecropper's Daughter. I've been listening to it all weekend. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
I first heard about you, actually. We had Brother Ali on the show, the audio version of the show, about just early January, I think it was, last year. And I said, is there any music out there that we maybe people in the UK might not be aware of that we should be? And he recommended you, and I've been a massive fan ever since. So thank you for coming on the show. Lots of our viewers are really excited that you're here as well, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Brother Ali, that's family. I don't know if he told you, but that was the first full-length tour that I'd ever been on. I've opened for Brother Ali in 2017, and we just meshed and connected, and it was really beautiful. Our music has similar messaging and, similar vibes. So, yeah.
Absolutely. You can hear it, that positivity. I mean, how important is it to you to try and put out that positive message in a world that's full of negativity?
It's paramount for me to put out music like that because, we're constantly bombarded by a lot of things in the world that make us feel powerless, that make us feel worthless, that we don't have the right to have a voice or the right to take up space or make change. So it's important that I make music for not only myself, but for people to hear that makes them feel like they deserve to be here and they deserve to have a point of view and just feel uplifted in a world that tries to beat you down.
As a writer myself, when I listen to your lyrics, it just sounds to me that you take a lot of care and spend a lot of time making sure that it's just right. It's hard to just the way that you deliver it. Things like a sickening pivot, just the way it's delivered on the new record, it's incredible. Is it a long process just trying to get that right, or does it all just flow at one time?
It can be. It depends on how my creativity is flowing. But I'm really just really critical sometimes of what I write and how I write, because I came up when I started listening to hip hop, I was attracted to extremely skilled lyricists who were very precise with their wordplay and, just the masters of their craft, from Black Thought of the Roots to Andre 3000 of Outkast to KRS-One. So all these people that really took great care with their words. And then also the poets that I was extremely into poetry before I started rhyming, and literature and words and their meaning and their power mean a great deal to me. So it can take a minute for me to get it just right. And then sometimes when the energy is flowing, it just flows.
And you just mentioned Black Thought there. Obviously, it's incredible. You've got him on your album and you're collaborating with him. Does that change your writing process? Are you like, okay, I've got to really bring my A game here?
Absolutely. And it's so funny because we got a chance to record in the same studio. And I normally don't work like that. I have an in-home studio and I'm able to be in my pajamas, writing at 3:00 in the morning when the inspiration hits, in my own little corner. So to have to write in the same studio with Black Thought, who, is the GOAT, it was quite intimidating. Not that I don't feel confident in my own pen, but, that's you're sitting next to a master. So I was sitting out in the hallway of the studio. I cannot be in the same room with this man writing my rap. I'm sitting out in the hallway in the studio. I gotta get this right. And then eventually I was like, y'all gotta go. can y'all go get some food and then I'll write it and then.
Well, you did great. I mean, did you have a concept at all when you were going into that? Was there a concept, or was it just let's just see what happens? Was there a beat already in place? I mean, what was the process like?
There was already a beat. Soul Messiah, who's my primary producer, he had come up with the beat, and we had an idea that we wanted to do like a back and forth kind of thing. Because Black Thought to me is just such a lyricist, I wanted it to be just purely about like the highest form of lyricism. We're both about just elevating the craft and elevating the culture of hip hop to the point where it's viewed as like a fine art. And the way we do that is to fine tune and sharpen our lyrics, you know, like barbs, like swords. And so that was kind of the point of the song, to elevate the culture, about elevating the culture of hip hop, similar to like the Black writers and artists in the Harlem Renaissance in America, here in America, who were all like, they were collaborators and they were competitive, and they were, you know, they all were focused on elevating Black art to the highest form possible. So yeah, so that's the kind of the theme of the song. That was the premise.
Well, you nailed it. You absolutely smashed it. It's a brilliant tune from start to finish. Also, I think you can tell that you've done it in a studio together, with the way that you go back and forth towards the end of the song. That's really cool as well, just to hear that. So it doesn't sound like, you know, someone's just phoned in a random verse. It does sound like you have created something magical together. So congratulations on that one. Also, I've got to point out as well, I was blown away. Getting Saul Williams as your intro. How cool's that?
Yeah, I have a great deal of respect for him as an artist, as a writer, as a thinker. And so it just so happened, again, Soul Messiah, my producer, he has known him for quite some time. And we ended up like just reaching out to him to see if he wanted to do it, like pitching him the concept of the album. And once he heard like what the album was about and what we wanted to do with it, he was happy to jump on there. And I'm also on one of his albums as well. So it was kind of a trade-off. Amazing stuff. Big fan of Saul Williams as well. And you just talk about the concept of the album. Could we just speak a little bit about that? The Sharecropper's Daughter, where does it all come from? Yeah, so the title literally speaks to my father's upbringing on a tobacco farm, sharecropping in Virginia in Maryland during the Jim Crow era in America. And it speaks about my upbringing during like kind of the roughest part of the 90s and dealing with the, you know, poverty and violence and things like that, and how our upbringings are so different, but they converge to tell a story of shared history of tragedy, trauma, triumph, that the album is all about sifting through and searching through that baggage and finding real treasure. So it's really about inheritance and being able to look through yourself and get the lessons from all of the heaviness of the things that we inherit emotionally from our forebears, and being able to find ourselves through all of that.
Amazing stuff. How long was this album been? Have you been working on this? Is this because I did see that you did an interview, I think it was in May last year, and you said that you were hoping the album would be out at the end of last year. Hello, can you hear me okay?
You were breaking up a bit. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No worries. I'll just try and fix that. Yeah, just how long has this album been in the pipeline for? How long have you been working on it?
I've been working on this for a few years. I started in 2016, the end of 2016. That's when I started like playing around with some ideas and playing around with the concept. We didn't fully get into like the writing process. We didn't to have like a concrete idea until a couple of years ago. And that's when we kind of knew, that's when I kind of cemented what I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to have more intimacy and more vulnerability in this music and kind of tell my story, because all of us have, you know, things that we don't want to see the light of day, that we're afraid will shape us in a way that shape people's perceptions of us in a way that is unflattering. But sometimes that's the work we have to do, and that's the exposure we have to get in order to heal from these things that we hold on to.
And so was it a cathartic experience doing all this?
Absolutely. It's still very emotional sometimes for me to listen to some of the songs on the album. Because, healing is a work in progress, but like whenever you lay yourself kind of bare like that, it can be raw. So yeah, but it was definitely healing to be able to kind of put that down, pen to paper, because we sometimes push these memories and thoughts and experiences to the bottom of our, ourselves, the back of our mind, and we don't deal with them. So this was me working through those things.
So how long has the album actually been ready for? Is this the kind of strange moment where it's been sitting there for a while and you're just ready for the fans to hear it and hear their feedback?
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, I can't wait. It's been ready for almost a year now. But there's a process in getting like the packaging and the wax and all that kind of stuff, the artwork and all that. So yeah, it's a bit anxious anticipating the release and seeing how people respond to it, and all the press and all that kind of stuff that comes with it, and describing and hoping that you can articulate what you're trying to convey through the music. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it to drop.
Well, you've obviously, a few of the songs have already been released. You've got Deliverance, which is amazing. Video is cool. Also, Forever is an incredible piece of art. I don't know who made the video for that, but the whole thing of Forever, it's got so much repeat play value. It just sounds really great. The lyrics are on point. The chorus is catchy. And the video is just a work of art in its own right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I came up with a treatment for the video. And the guy who normally directs all of our stuff, Tommy Nova, he shot that. And I wanted to do something in nature, because the song is really about being able to love yourself in your natural state. So we went out to a state park out by the border of like Alabama in the South. And it's just this beautiful, raw, this reddish clay, like these like hills and mountains and stuff. And it was really important for me to kind of convey like nature in its sheer state and compare that to ourselves in our most raw form. And like I had dealt a lot with self-worth issues and self-love issues when I was growing up. And I realized that I had never really, I had gotten over them, but there were still remnants and scars of that period that I had never really addressed. And it was important for me, especially in this time of like social media and stuff, where we're, comparing ourselves to others, like impossible beauty standards, and like we're comparing our natural selves to like artificial Photoshop images and stuff like that. It was important for me to create the song of like self-love and just the permanency of who we are, ourselves, our personhood and integrity, our humanity is so important, and it's so valuable, and it's so worthy. And we're allowed to shine our light. We shouldn't let anyone else dictate how and when and where and why we do that. So I want to show women in different sizes and ages, and even show like my real life scars. And so many women and men have come up to me and talked about how powerful that song has been to them, because we don't get a lot of stuff like that in music, period, but especially in hip hop.
Well, actually, tonight on You Call That Radio, we've got a really amazing singer called Becky Wallace who's going to take over the show. I'm just going to help produce it, but I'm going to step back and let the Scottish women take over. It's just a bunch of producers, promoters, people from all walks of life in the Scottish music industry, and they're going to have a panel discussion tonight with some live performances from 7:00 on here tonight. What advice would you give to them? Because a lot of them are up and coming. Some of them are a bit more experienced, but there's a couple of people in the hip hop community, which is obviously even more male dominated than everywhere else in the music industry, which is male dominated as well.
Right.
Is there any words of wisdom you would give to anyone sort of just trying to get involved in the creative arts?
Honestly, I would say for me, like what I had to do was decide, you know, how I wanted to present myself as an artist. And it wasn't difficult for me to, you know, kind of fine tune my point of view. But when you start on your journey, your career journey, it can be challenging by other people's influences about what you should do and what you should wear, what you should say, and, you know, in order to pop, in order to be successful. But have a clear idea of what stories you want to tell, how you want to be, how you want to present yourself as an artist, and stick to that. And that's not saying that you can't evolve as an artist. I'm not saying that, you know, as we grow, we don't change and develop, but just the core essence of yourself, a core ethos of who you are as an artist. Figure that out. And then as you walk on your journey, you'll have your integrity will remain intact, and you'll have a certain respect from those who view you, never kind of veering, you know, or never kind of bending to like trends and things like that. So like, it's really important for artistic integrity. For me, it was important for me to do that. So I think that is what I would say to any, you know, bubbling artist who is wanting to jump into this thing.
It's a very good point. That it's always kind of confused me as well. People that try and jump on a trend, they've already missed the boat if something's trendy. So they always tend to be copying something that's hot. And by the time that they do that, the trends have moved on again and people have moved on to it. So if you just stick to what you're doing, then eventually the trend can catch up with you rather than the other way around.
Because you create your own lane. You create your own lane when you have articulated or defined your identity as an artist. When you stick to that and you are carving out your own lane within the industry, then people start to recognize your imprint. So, you know, that's what I've done. And I think it's sustained me, because if you think about the artists that have a sustained career in hip hop and who are still 20 years, 30 years later, have successful touring all over the world and all of that, we know them for, you know, a consistency. And I think that the reason why they're still successful is because of that.
It's actually been, I've noticed in the last maybe 5 years, there's been a resurgence of a mature MC. And, you know, there's lots of sort of, you know, rappers in their 40s, 50s, 60s still making really good music. And I think it maybe took people's, maybe the public's time to kind of get over the fact that these are, MCs get older. And also, I think there's also been a lot of MCs who have embraced their maturity a bit more as well. You know, when you hear it, rather than, you know, some rappers can't. Some rappers rap about like they're still 21, and it just doesn't ring true.
Say the last part again. Some rappers.
Some rappers are like rapping like they're still rapping about the same things they rapped about when they were 21, right. and they're 50 years old, and it just sort of seems a bit lame. But there's lots of really good rappers that are embracing everything that comes with getting older and wiser. Right.
And I think that's so important, because that speaks to your authenticity as an artist. Like, if you're now a millionaire, you're not still in the old neighborhood trapping, or, you know, or still dealing with the same things you did when you were a teenager or when you were a young person. So let your story start to evolve. And I think that is what we see in all other important musical genres. So it's time for us to, even though hip hop was created by young people, in order for us to elevate it as an art, I mean, has an influence that is global, and it's, you know, it's such an important part of, you know, music and culture. But in order for us to make sure that it endures and is perceived as fine art like we know it to be, we have to let people evolve and mature with their stories, you know, with their music, and continue to create that. So yeah, because it needs to represent all perspectives.
Absolutely. And is there any artists out there that maybe, because obviously I asked Brother Ali and he put me on to you, is there any artists out there that you're really feeling right now that you think that people should be more aware of, that are maybe just not getting the credit that they deserve?
That are not getting the credit.
They deserve, just maybe you think someone underrated, someone who's just a great artist, but they're just maybe not, we might not have heard of them in Scotland yet.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've heard of these people, but Dynasty is an amazing artist. She's an MC out of Queens, New York. I actually toured Europe with her 2 years ago. And Lyric Jones is a really amazing artist. She's a singer, rapper. She plays the drums. Who else? Blinds Brixton and Gifted Gab. There's so many like artists. I can't even think of all of the names.
That's great. No, I don't want to put you in the spot and then you name something, you forget someone that's always a tick.
Right. There's so many. Let's just say if I didn't say it, that doesn't mean that I'm
yes
not willing to get shine. I can't think so. You know, the many artists that are deserving of shine.
So you said that you were you toured Europe. Whereabouts in Europe did you go?
I did a lot of Germany. We did Switzerland. We did Slovenia. Where else did we go? Finland, Norway. Like we did on another tour. I did London and I did the Czech Republic and Belgium. So quite a few. We hit quite a few spots.
So you've not been to Scotland yet?
No.
I
haven't.
Hopefully, when Scotland's allowed to have gigs again, you can come back. Right now, there is obviously no gigs just now, but I'd noticed that you did represent Scotland on your new album with a line about, well, I don't know, you rhymed Loch Ness with relapses. I don't know how you did that, but it sounds really good. Thanks you for representing Scotland's imaginary monster, the Loch Ness monster.
Right. Yeah. I say I'm the Loch Ness monster. You know, I am feared and elusive in this rap game.
So when is this album out and how can people get it?
It's out October 2nd of this year. Not long. You can do pre-orders now at www.Sa-Roc, SA-ROC.com. And yeah, like and it'll be streaming on iTunes and Spotify and all of the streaming platforms as well. And then I'm also on Instagram as Sa-Roc the MC, SAROCTHEMC, Twitter, Facebook, all that.
Just a couple of comments coming in. Jillian Whitelock's got a queen crown for you. Erin Friel, who's actually an amazing Scottish MC, she's saying amazing. Sa-Roc is amazing.
Thank you.
We've got Coraline McSchool says, cannot wait to hear the album. And
can't wait to share it with you.
And Izzy Conway says, what a lovely lady.
Oh, thank you. I love to be called lovely.
Well, it's been amazing talking. I know that you've got a really busy schedule today, so I'm not going to keep you too much longer. Let's just end it on a positive note. What is, obviously we're in a very strange time. Everything's very confusing. Lots of bad stuff's happening. What's a positive way to look at things going on as they are just now?
I think now that things are kind of at a standstill, it's the kind of perfect time for us to figure out and decide like what our role will be in the world and how we can make an impact, whether that's the smallest thing through social media, through reaching out to those that we care about, our loved ones, whether it's through speaking out about the things that matter. The moments of stillness that we have right now, we can kind of take that time to figure that out, because we are so important in deciding what kind of world we're going to create for the future. So I think that we needed to have that stillness for a second for us to realize how powerful we can be out here in this world. In spite of how insurmountable things might be, like each single person can, when we come together, we can have a tremendous impact on the world.
Amazing stuff. The Sharecropper's Daughter out on the 2nd of October on Rhymesayers Entertainment. Thank you so much, Sa-Roc. I hope the album goes well. It's amazing. I've really enjoyed listening to it this weekend. And all the best for the release.
Thank you. Great to talk to you.
You too. All the best. See you later. Bye. Amazing. Sa-Roc. Gillian says, please come to Scotland. Steg G says, dope. The captain says, is this live? Yes, it is live. We are live, completely live. What happened to Saturday's live stream? Why did it get taken down? We don't know. We don't know. We had to take. We did. If anyone doesn't know, we did a massive gig on Saturday night. The first gig since December last year that I've been involved in, and it was amazing. We had 4 or 5 acts all playing over 2 stages with no audience apart from the people who tuned in. And thank you to everyone who did tune in. It was incredible. Absolutely. We had, Bomb Scare, I think, played to about 500 people at one point. The whole show was amazing. Capture Works did such a great job on the visuals side of things as well. And the audio sounded amazing. We decided just to take it down because we don't know how best to proceed and what to do with it, because it is premium content. So we don't know whether to maybe let everyone watch the show for free and then maybe put it up. You make a donation and you get to watch it for 30 days or something like that. It's a total experiment, so it went really well, but we're just decided to take it off Facebook and YouTube just till we figure out what to do with it. Maybe the bands will want to put it on their own sets, on their own social media channels. Maybe we can put parts of it on the You Call That Radio YouTube channel as well. So it was just an experiment. It went really well, but until we know exactly what we're doing, we just thought we'd take it down just now. We'll let you know. The footage is safe and you will see it again. So don't worry about that. You Call That Radio platform needs to happen, then you're the judge of what goes up and comes down. No, we chose to bring it down. So yeah, anyway, it's been, it was great speaking to Sa-Roc. This is not the end of You Call That Radio today. We're back at 7 o'clock with That's What She Said, a panel discussion from Becky Wallace and a host of amazing musicians. We just did the sound check there with 4 acts, did the sound check just before I spoke to Sa-Roc, and they're sounding incredible. So please tune in at 7 o'clock and check that out. Becky Wallace will be discussing things. There'll be live performances. It's going to be a good show. Thanks to everyone who tuned in on Saturday. It was a great day. And I'll see you at 7 o'clock. Should I play a Sa-Roc tune? I'm going to play a Sa-Roc tune. Hopefully we're all right for copyright to do that. But I just thought the tune we talked about forever was incredible video. I think it's on about 5 million views now. So let's just play that just now. And we'll see you at 7 o'clock with Becky Wallace and a plethora of special guests from talking about female issues in the Scottish music industry. And check out Sa-Roc's new album, The Sharecropper's Daughter, which is out on October the 2nd, but you can pre-order it now. So this is one of the tunes, absolute banger from the album.
When I wake up, no makeup, half naked, I feel like I'm the shit. Pardon my language, but hang-ups do not define the kid. No, I'm not flawless, I'm scarred up and I'm fine with it. My body are the laundry list of all of life's unkindnesses, but I still sip tea and chant om and live free, cause hardships and heartbreaks turn to rap epiphanies. And mom told me stay woke, cause all gold ain't glistening. Choose your words wisely, cause the all-knowing's listening. But no worries, I'm Gucci, my thighs are low juicy, my dialogue low awkward, my idols still move me. My life is a movie like Raheem and Mookie. I'm just trying to do the right thing, hope that it improves me. My bamboo's accustomed to me, you'll be soon accustomed to me. This tomorrow, I got royal hemoglobin coursing through me, and my strength is now inhuman. I get that straight from my own, signed it silk from out the grill of yours and truly. You better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you are. I ain't get here overnight. I was in that mirror like 4 or 5 times a week on my mile of beats reciting affirmations like holy rites, and I still don't know everything. But I guess confessions from 8x11s and studio sessions seem like it's only right. And trust me, this my therapy. Fuck your couch. Finna murk all these Murphy types, funny style at me. Shut your mouth. Touch me, I'm slaughtering crews, squads, goons, teams. The queen is coming to rule your region. Coming for all of your asses, plus your house. I ain't always have it in me. No titles for pretending. I was 14 years old, forcing pills down my throat, so my baby fat diminished. Still got these scars from cutting my wrist when I thought the life was finished. Now they remind me what my lows look like. Now I know the sky's the limit. Okay. Never claim to be perfect, that's an impossible dream. I'm just saying that I'm working, that's the responsible thing. Spend half my life trying to find my life from outside sources, why the only voice that mattered came from me. You better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you are. When Rock go in, she too aggressive, that's too masculine. And her content a little too obsessive, just relax a bit. She say she got that's narcissistic, just the facts of it. Now I don't really F with female rappers, that's just sacrilege. Glad I learned early not to internalize every ink up. Daddy told me with every opinion there comes a sphincter. And they would rather she them thoughts than popularize a thinker. Why them lying archetypes is chasing cat, I'm trying to sphinx her. Rap Vero, skin caramello, apparel mainly vintage. Meryl composer, warrior, so every verse became a vengeance. Went through too much hair to not be fine, but they still feigning ignorance. So now I came to click my just do it remaining interest. Baby, I'm a star without the flash fame of Fenty. Came out the doctored up the entire game upon my entry. Kept it 100, messed around and gained another century in this. Now I'm aimed to pop off till my mental chamber's empty. I'm unbothered, your standards is irrelevant. I might F around and rock a body, all this for the hell of it. They've been trying to martyr me for ages cause my melanin. So now I'm soaking UV rays with sugar slathered on my adamant. My dude, I'm magic, my game is God is my move. It's savage, that's gang, it's Connie's my moves. And mountains, my range, astonishing, dangerous. Sinus like rain and comets, they blazing. Trails through planets all hell is kind of amazing. That's right, we'll call this self-love. Discovered I was dope and indulge like I'm scale drugs. And you could call me arrogant and that's gonna help love. But if you trying to knock me down, your demolitions fell, bruh, fell, bruh, fell, bruh, fell. You better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are forever. Cause they gon' try and change your heart. Don't let up, cause you're so damn fine just the way you are.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale.
Powered by our patrons. You just seen Sa-Roc Forever go and pre-order her amazing new album, forthcoming album. It's out on the 2nd of October, but I got a wee advanced listen to it this weekend. It's brilliant. It's called The Sharecropper's Daughter. It's out now on Rhymesayers Entertainment to pre-order. So go and do that. Angela Dottis is an amazing artist. She is indeed absolutely thrilled that she could join us today. I know that she's very, very busy. So amazing stuff. We'll be back at 7 o'clock with Becky Wallace takeover. That's what she said. It's going to be 2 parts. One's tonight, one's on Wednesday. So many artists, and there's going to be a panel discussion, and there's going to be some live performances. It should be good crack. So I hope you can join us back at 7 o'clock, and we'll see you then.
You call that radio?
Call that radio.
Went back to the people who hated on me.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad, isn't it?
Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that! Radio!
Yeah.
And is there a way we can do something like that?
I couldn't help it.
By injection inside
Yeah,
I think so, because I think just paint in general, because I think like my poem is in my painting.
No, cut.